mi cama. Bien loquita, cara de santa pero es una bandida. Que loquita, tiene mala fama pero esa es su vida. Pues loquita, fuma conmigo, champán y bebida. Pues loquita, vamos a portarnos mal, no busco nada normal.
The primary purpose of the CAF podcast is to express platform for creators to express their personal views or opinions without restriction or censorship. All views or opinions expressed during the CAF podcast are solely those of individuals expressing such views or opinions and does not reflect the views of the CAF podcast.
I got my questions. I know you got answers.
Of course.
And just like last time, if something said or done that you don't like, I write the time down. I go back and edit it out.
All right, sound good. I'm usually good with everything I say. So let's roll.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are again at the end of another season. Season 7, ladies and gentlemen. Topic for this season is whatever. And as we come to a wrap, we had to make sure we end this season with the bang. And the young lady that we got on tonight, if you was paying attention, she got on season 5 when we was talking about Black women. But we had to rush her because we had another episode afterwards, and we didn't. It was just like throwing stuff at her to get answers. And I don't know if you know, but that episode, it came in 3rd of the most viewed that season.
All right now.
So
let's go.
It came in 3rd. So, but she's back. This time we got her for however long she gonna give us. And let me just give it to you now. She ain't cutting no corners. She gonna tell it like it is.
No bullshit.
Because her name is Miss Chanel, no bullshit therapist. Ladies and gentlemen, she is back. How you doing, Miss Chanel?
I am doing quite well. Very well.
Welcome back to the camp.
Thank you for having me back. I was looking forward to this.
Like, we was trying to figure out, like, last season, what was our topic last season? Last season, it was assignment and attachment. I really wish, matter of fact, I'm going to ask some questions from that season for that. But I really wish you would have got on for that Quita episode because she went through something, and I wish you was on for that. But I'm going to still ask you a couple questions. But
anytime you need me to come in for something, I'm down. Anytime.
Well, I know now. But welcome back to the camp. I'm so happy for you to end our season and I'm looking forward to tonight. I don't know about you.
Of course. I love talking to you, dude. Like, I love empowering conversations and discussions, and anything I can do to get the education out to the people and empower the people, that's what I'm down for.
Okay. Now, Quita and Perk, they're gonna get on. You met Quita before. You know Quita. Perk.
Yeah, I know Quita. Yeah.
Perk, you didn't get a chance with me, but he's gonna get on. But like always, I keep things going until they get going. But first question, Miss Chanel, how is your mental health?
Ooh, it's stressing right now because I got a baby graduating tomorrow and she the last one, and lots of mixed feelings because I'm glad that I'm done, At the same time, it's kind of sad because she the last one. I'm on one hand, I'm ready to take care of myself only, and of course you still take care of your kids after they graduate, all that good stuff. But I'm no longer legally responsible for her. And I can get up and go when I feel like, and I ain't got to make no arrangements. I'm like, y'all figure it out. All right. But at the same time, that's my baby, and I've raised a lot of kids. And while I feel triumphant, and everybody, finishing and doing what they need to do, I am a little sad. I'm grieving a little bit.
Well, let me ask this question, because even though your baby's graduating, she's the last one, and as a therapist, let me just go this. As a mother, does it come a certain point where you say, all right, baby, go do your thing, or you like, let me show you exactly what to do?
Well, I am the type of mother that I have always understood that I was training my kids for adulthood. And so there's been a consistent, let me show you how this works, right? A good example of that is at age 16, I don't buy clothes or hygiene no more. You're old enough to work. So you're old enough to pay for your own stuff, right? And that means any kind of way that you need to make money. So that means if I ask one of my children to wash my clothes or do something that's purely my responsibility, I pay them for it. I pay them for it. That's not a favor for me. And that's my responsibility. So I'm gonna pay you to put up my clothes, or if you're gonna clean my room or clean my bathroom, I'm gonna offer you cash for it, right? Showing that there's value in the work and all that. If it's your room, then that's your due diligence. You need to clean your room, right? Mm-hmm. Household stuff, cool. But if you're washing my car, but you don't have no license and you're not driving my car, then I'm gonna pay you for that, right? But at 16, you're old enough to get out and work, right? And so you can purchase, and at that age, for the most part, kids are finished growing for the most part, especially girls, right? And so you don't have to buy new school clothes every year, which I really generally didn't do it either, because unless you've grown out of what you have, we'll replace the things you need to replace, but I'm not going out every year getting brand new school clothes and all that kind of stuff. Like that to me, that's part of that capitalistic mindset. I always got to have something new. Some of my one of my adopted girls would hoard a lot of clothing being in foster care. And so when we adopted her, she didn't want to let go of nothing. And in order to get her to get new things, you got to trade. You got to give me a pair of jeans to get a pair of jeans, right? To teach her, like, you don't need to hold on to all the things. You can let go of some stuff, right? So I am always training my children for adulthood. All right.
Now you said work. Now do they, because you are an entrepreneur?
Oh yeah.
Do they see them like, well, mom, you don't wake up every day, do a 9 to 5. You work your own schedule. Do they
when I say work, I don't mean you got to go do a 9 to 5. My children work for me. Okay. They work for Children's Empowerment. But this is no nepotism, because you're gonna work if you're gonna work for me. Right? It's not me. You don't get it in name or because I'm your mom and I know you're gonna do your job, or you're gonna get fired. But we're gonna go through the process too. We're gonna do administrative leave if necessary, when we at work, I'm your boss.
Teaching the kids about administrative leave, and they're working for you.
Oh, absolutely. They're working for me. But I'm teaching them entrepreneurship. As a matter of fact, both of my girls are getting ready to go to beauty school. One of them is going for esthetician and the other one was going for nail tech, and they plan on opening up their own salon and stuff. So I want them to be entrepreneurs. My older daughter has found out from being on them 9 to 5s that as a strong leader and woman, she's hated on. And so oftentimes she don't stay on the job. Mm-hmm. They find a way to get her out of there. Gotcha. And so she's like, Mom, I don't think I can keep doing it. I was like, well, you need to figure out what you're going to do for you. And so I'm willing to help you do that if you got your mind right and you're ready for it. But until she was ready for it, I wasn't investing the time and all that, because she wasn't listening yet. So.
Miss Chanel, that's Perk. That's one of the co-hosts of the CAF. He wasn't on last time, but he is tonight. So Perk, Miss Chanel, no bullshit therapist.
Your favorite no bullshit therapist.
Your favorite no bullshit therapist.
How you feeling?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good, feeling good.
So you're a real therapist?
Yeah, a real licensed therapist. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah, in Texas and Louisiana licensed. And getting some more licensure in some few other states.
That's what's up.
And I see people everywhere.
Okay. I did therapy for a minute. I wasn't a license. I was a MHP.
Oh, word. I did a lot of MHP work. That's hard work. It's hard work. But it's good work.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. When I was MHP, I had my trouble which is part of the reason that I started my practice, was working within systems that don't take care of us. And so I found I was, one of the few people that was actually trying to help the kids I was working with or whomever I was working with. And I was like, this got to be done differently, because they wasn't getting the help that they really needed.
Yeah. I mean, I was working to a point where I always had the worst kids, which I had fun with.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah. That's my favorites.
yeah. But they was always trying to figure out how I had control over them.
Because
And
they
my
knew you
favorite,
cared. Because they knew you cared about them.
well, that and then what most people think is Samuel Jackson said on the movies, doing the right thing ain't doing the right thing sometimes. So
Thank you.
uh, sometimes I had to talk crazy to
You
them
have to
kids.
speak in their language. And
Yeah, yeah,
understand.
they understand better. So yeah, nah, it was fun. I just if we could find a way to do it without the notes, I
Oh
would.
my boy, look, let me tell you something. That's the bane of my existence.
Yes, and I did mine on Sundays, so it was like a whole day of notes, and that was
Mhm.
prep note done. So
Oh
you
wow. Yep. It ain't documented. It didn't happen.
can't get paid.
Can't get paid.
That
Yeah,
was that's
I
I
hate that too.
feel like you hustling. Then I'm like, nah, I don't want to hustle no more. I just want to
Right.
go
Because it
home.
feels like it does feel like a hustle. You're right. You're right.
Mm-mm.
If there's a way to get rid of that part, I'm sure every therapist on the planet, every mental health professional on the planet to get rid of that.
Well,
Yeah.
I would rather take a picture and record it, the conversation, than to sit there
Yeah.
and talk.
Yep. Well, unfortunately, they'll use it.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
they'll use it against the people we're working with, you know, and stuff. So, yeah, well, I'm glad I got another mental health professional in the house, you know.
Oh
So,
yeah,
and,
listen,
and,
that's
and a
my,
black man mental health professional is important.
look. That's my thing. Now, one of my mentors said that about me. He said, I don't know a whole lot about you, but I do know when it comes to these kids, you will take up for them regardless of who walk in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Because I sit on some boards and meetings, and a lot of these people with these somebody said with all these alphabets in front of their names,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they forget that we was all kids at one
Come
time.
on, bro. Thank you. Thank
A lot
you.
of times I just get, I be like, I get it. It don't sound right, but we were all in that situation before.
Yes,
And some of these kids be in these different households and there's no stability. So
that's
it's
right.
like, what would you expect them to do?
Thank you.
It's kind of in a perfect world in
Mhm.
your master's or doctorate degree, it sounds like, yeah, this is what you should do. But for a
Yeah,
kid
yeah.
who
They don't care
trying
about
to figure life out about and
it.
they got some other issues going on,
Yeah, yeah,
they don't know what to do. So they just going with what they think. And it's like, okay, I get it.
right,
I don't have no problem with it. But
right.
people do, and it's like, oh man, why would they do that? And I'm like,
What you mean? Why would they do like put
you
yourself in their
ain't,
shoes?
you ain't I
Yeah,
just be like, you ain't never do that. Oh
right.
well.
Yep. Let me tell you, like part of my practice, which all of the therapists that I have in my practice have the same mentality. Because I mean, that's who I hire and stuff like that. Is that we're not no different from nobody else just because we got some letters. You know, like
At
I
all.
come from the hood. I'm from a broken home. I experienced poverty, all that stuff, right? I learned from what I need to learn from. I still have a therapist today, and so we're always growing and all that. I am no different. I get depressed, I get sad, I get moody, I go off on my kids. Like I do the same stuff that everybody else do, and what I learned from, of course, I learned from my book stuff, but I learned more through experience than I
Yeah.
learned anywhere else. That is my best teacher. That's what makes me a great therapist, is that I'm
Yeah.
not setting myself on no pedestal. I'm trying to, I'm in the trenches with you. Let's walk this road together. Because you know what? I might be still working on that too. Let's work on it together. And that is so respected and so needed and understood. And, and that's why people want to talk to me. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it straightforward, which I'm not, and then I have trouble with that with my interns. Not with the interns themselves, just with the school systems, because they're teaching stuff like, thinking that we should be stoic and we shouldn't care, or One instructor was like, you let your clients curse in session. Well, if that's how they talk, that's how they talk. Who am I to tell them how they talk?
Look, I had me and my me and my mother had a conversation, and my mother is very old school, and we were talking about a situation that happened in my family with one of my cousins and one of my aunts. And I was explaining to my mother, sometimes we can sit here and talk about stuff, but until somebody use cuss words or a different tone, you'll never understand what they really feel like. And she was like, well, it's a respectful way. And I said, I get that. I said, but here's the problem that I have with that. If I don't cry or I don't cuss or I don't use my voice, you won't understand how hurt that is. I say, you can't tell a kid who has been who may have been raped, who may have been molested, be in a respectful manner talking to an adult.
Right.
Says so for me, I understand where they come from. I for you understand it as like you're more worried about respect than you're worried about fixing the situation.
That's right.
She didn't understand it until we got into a situation and it happened, and then she was like, okay, I understand it now. Like, and I'm that's where we are as a people. Like, some people are more worried about the respect level and worried about fixing the situation.
Right. And I think we need to redefine what respect is, because for the most part, especially for Black people and brown people, like, respect has more to do with the words you're actually speaking, right? Or, but like, we need to like kind of change that definition, right? Because I've allowed my children to use profanity for the longest. I mean, because I taught them profanity because I use it. So like that would be hypocritical, right? Now we have a framework, right? If we're going back and forth and we arguing, please don't use no profanity while you're talking to me, right? And we're going to use a proper tone. But if we clowning around and we just messing, just kind of like talk how you talk, right?
Well, let me ask you this question, because I grew up in a different type of family than you, because it was a grown folks thing, they could cuss. Right. So when we did, it was disrespect. But in today's time, do you think more families should be more lenient towards it? Because I really don't even
call it lenient though. Like, it's a matter of understanding language.
No,
right?
I'm gonna say no.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say no.
See, I don't think it's a matter of leniency or not. It's a matter of understanding your children, right? And understanding what their relationships means, right? My child just made 18. My youngest baby just made 18 in February and all. I'm expecting from her to do adult things. I'm telling her she got to buy her own clothes. She got to pay for her own hygiene. In the moment, I'm still taking care of the rest of your needs, but I'm training you to be an adult. I use profanity in my language every day. So if we're laughing and we're clowning and we're hanging out, I'm not worried about them using profanity, because for me, profanity is not in itself disrespectful. Sometimes it's a matter of expressing yourself, right? I don't want her to cuss at me. And has she done it? Absolutely she has. Absolutely she has. All right. And we address that as it happens.
But I think we agree with each other. We just disagree with some technicals. And the reason I say that is because you have a foundation.
Right.
Some people don't have the foundation.
Absolutely.
And when I can't even say so, I'm being real polite now. A lot of these kids have. And one of my homeboys also said the same thing. A lot of these parents are kids raising kids.
Right.
They're learning while they're raising someone, And it's like I wouldn't say use cuss words in it, and I get it. Just because some of them don't have the respect thing. Like
Right.
I come from a background of my mother's side was yes sir, no sir, no ma'am, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, and all
Yeah.
that. My dad's side was long as we can say it and be respectful, we're
Respectful, right?
fine.
The tone and all, right?
Yeah. But what I've learned nowadays in this generation, it was always if you give respect, you get respect. In
Mhm.
this generation growing now, you have to give respect in order to get respect. And
The problem with that is respect in itself is reciprocal. So both things need to be happening, right?
well, the thing is, I think when I was growing up, because I don't know your age, you respected an older person because they were older.
Right.
Nowadays, that you have to give them the respect before they give you respect. And I've worked in with mental health counseling, and I worked in juvenile jail. I worked in treatment facilities. The yes ma'am, no ma'am does not make them respect you anymore.
Thank you. I'm telling you, I worked at Boys Town, and the one of the things I learned the most there, because it was yes ma'am, no ma'am, or yes Miss Batiste, or whatever. A child can tell you yes ma'am or say ma'am in such a way that she might as well say bitch.
Yes.
All right, it's the tone, it's the inflection, right, and all
Yes.
that. So that's why I say the words in themselves don't make a difference. It is the intent and your message, right?
Yes.
And so, and I can tell immediately. I was like, she meant bitch, like, and stuff like that. And so the deal with respect is, I don't believe in the premise of respecting somebody just because they're older than you.
Yes.
If they're wiser than you and they show you their wisdom and they operate in that wisdom, then that is a difference. Because what we foster in that like there's so many, molestations and he sweeps stuff under the rug stuff, or, things of that matter that have cost our children so much, and it's out of respect for the adult. So if I have to respect Uncle Johnny just because he's a grown up, that means when he wants to touch me inappropriate, I got to listen to him and I got to respect him regardless, because he's a grown up, right? I should have enough, power. I should be given the power as a child to open my mouth and say, this man did something to me and you believe me, period, right?
Yeah.
But if I can't come to any adult because adults are automatically right,
Yes.
and that victimizes all of us, right? And so there are lots of kids in lots of bad situations that don't say anything because we've garnered this, oh, if they older than you, they grown, so they right. They grown, so you don't disrespect them. You don't talk to them like that. But what if he been touching me since I was 7 and I'm 14 now? What you mean I can't cuss him out? Like,
Yeah. And
so
not having a safe place to go to do that. Like I've had situations where that has happened. Not even the sexual part, just one of my kids' aunts did the kid wrong, and the kid felt like his parents wasn't supporting him, and they wasn't supporting him because the person was older, and as they got older, they didn't quite communicate with them, and then they started asking like, well, why you don't communicate with them, and they was like, this is why I don't communicate, and the first thing they said was, well, why didn't you tell us? And he was like, I did. Y'all didn't listen to what I said because they were older than me.
yeah,
And
right.
I said, that happens a lot.
Yeah,
Like that happens a whole lot,
a whole lot.
to a point where even like now with what I do now, I have to listen to students and I have to listen to adults. And
Right.
it's real hard when you're investigating
Mm-hmm.
something because you can't put your personal feelings in it,
Mm-hmm.
but you feel for a child, and then it's kind of like when something happens with a child to where something has happened, but you don't
Put your
know the
Is
story.
the detail. Yeah, the whole story. Yep.
So
Yeah.
it happens. I mean, I tell a lot of people that get in mental health, like mental health is great. But the worst, and I'm gonna say best thing that it does is if you haven't dealt with some things, it's gonna make you deal with it.
Oh, it's gonna make you deal with it. I
Or
tell you,
you
every
or
intern
you
that walked
gonna
into my
quit.
space, you
Yes,
gonna deal with your stuff working in.
it did. It actually happened to me. I did it for 4 years. Well, 4 years and a half. I think it was my second year. And I don't even know if Florida know this. I actually had like I want to say a mental breakdown, but it brought everything to um the forefront. And it wasn't like these kids were doing this on purpose. It's just
It was
that
triggering your stuff.
everything.
Regular
And
behavior is triggering your stuff.
look, behaviors, the way houses were sitting, the
Yeah.
way houses smelled, the
Yeah.
way how many kids were in the
In the
house,
house. Yep.
like all these things, and like even my homeboys. After I went through it, it made me it. And I tell people now, it's either gonna make you a better counselor, or it's gonna make, or you just gonna.
Are you gonna quit? Yep.
And I told a couple of my homeboys who was like, "Yeah, man, I'm gonna get into it. You know, it's gonna be some easy money, blah blah." And I said, "Bro, listen,
You think it's gonna be easy,
not
but
gonna, not gonna lie to you,
you have to
it's
process some things.
but I promise you, whatever you haven't dealt with,
Deal
is
with, you
what you
gonna
gonna
deal with
deal
it.
with."
Gonna deal with it.
And now,
That's right.
either you gonna quit or you gonna become a better person. That's all I can tell.
That's
And
right.
all of them thought I was joking until
Mhm.
it happened. They was like, "Bro, I didn't think it was gonna bring that up." And I'm like, "Bro, I'm
Yep.
telling
They
you
bring up all the stuff.
everything." And that's when you know, like when I talk to different therapists and counselors, and they start talking about certain things, and I was like, "Oh yeah, you dealt with that.
Yeah.
You you
You can
you
tell. You can
you
tell when
know
you've been there.
who really is there for the kids
Mhm.
and who's really there for the chick."
Yep. You can tell. I tell everybody I can tell the difference in somebody that's in it to win it or just trying to play the game. You
Yeah,
know, because you can't do this in full measure without truly caring and showing that you care. Because you're not gonna get a kid to even acknowledge your existence if they don't
correct.
think you care about them. They have to, and I learned that phrase when I was in training. That was somebody said that kids don't care what you know until they know that you care.
They don't.
Well, you
I worked at in Louisiana. I worked at a Methodist home, and they had, it was right around Katrina when they
okay?
brought the Katrina kids up, and they had a lot of people working, but they were quitting because of how bad the kids were.
Yeah.
And again,
And
my theory is
our
always,
Louisiana babies are tough.
listen, I'm gonna tell you here. Look, I had been dealing with the ones that was in North. When
Mm-hmm.
I brought the New Orleans ones there, they was like, "Yeah, man, they be fighting. They out in the
Mm-hmm.
street."
They don't
Blah,
play.
blah.
They don't play.
And the dude came to me and he was like, "Man, I heard you that dude. You can, you work with kids well. I'm just letting you know how it is." And I told him straight up. I said, "Man, listen, I'm gonna tell you this now. It's gonna be bad for the first couple weeks, but
Yeah.
we
I
gonna
don't get
get to the good part." And he was like, "Man, I really don't know." I said, "That's on you." I said, "Cause this my thing. I'm gonna tell you right now. Somebody gonna get slammed. Let's just be honest. Somebody
it.
got."
Somebody gonna get jacked up.
He was like, why you say that?" I said, "Because this is what you got to understand. There is not a fear factor in them. When kids
That's
are,
right.
there is not a
Kids
fear.
have nothing to lose. They have nothing to
Nothing.
lose. They have nothing to lose. You better show them you care.
I
You better
said,
let them
I
know
said,
you care.
I said, the slam is not to hurt them, it's to let them know
Let them
like
know.
that there is a wrong and right way to do anything."
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
after we had our come to Jesus conversation and we had our come to Jesus experience, we was
Feels
on good
good.
terms.
Feels good. Feels
Oh,
good.
this
Yeah.
could be good. Yeah. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, some things we just gotta do because of where these kids come
It's
from.
come from.
don't get me wrong. I ain't saying we finna go in there and just slam everybody,
Right.
but
No.
at
It's
some point there has to be something done
right.
because
Sometimes you just
And
gotta do that shit.
yeah. See, this is the thing. Like you said, having nothing to lose, and these kids use the fear factor. When they get
yes,
to places, they
yes,
are using the fact that the staff is scared of them, or they can't do this or can't do that. I done got in plenty of a child face. Let me explain something to you, little baby. I don't mind going to jail. Like when my kids used to walk into the house, and my ex-husband used to sit with them and say, "Hey, we love you because you walked across our door sill. Period. We're gonna treat you like our own. We're gonna make sure you're good, taken care of, all the things. But understand this: if you cause harm or pain to me and mine, I have no problem leaving this job and going to jail. We understand?" So that was often, but if you do what you need to do, you're gonna have the best parents on the planet, bro. I got you. I got you. And most of the children that were in our house, we adopted because we became their parents after 3 years.
yeah,
So they were ours. So let's adopt them and make sure that the rest of their life is as good as possible. You know, you gotta love them through it, and love is tough.
yes.
Season 7 Cal Podcast, man. This is our wrap-up episode. We got Miss Chanel, your favorite no bullshit therapist, back with us. And boy, we already popping. We already what, 40 minutes in, and we ain't even got to none of the topics.
See,
So
that's good
yeah,
stuff.
this is good. Yeah. Well, I knew this was gonna happen as soon as he get on because he like you see, I was quiet.
I see that.
So,
Professional talk about things.
so let me just go ahead and throw that out there. We're gonna get to the Diddy situation.
All right.
But before we get to the Diddy situation, Miss Chanel, I gotta ask you, and I know Perky gonna jump in. The young black men, are we raising them to be, are they being raised to be bitches? Because literally in the last month, there have been 9 young women getting shot and killed because she told him no.
Perk, you want to take that one first?
9.
And
listen, it was 8 before I wrote the question. I just saw one.
dang. Okay.
I just saw one on Instagram like 10 minutes before you got on. A girl who just graduated from, I think she graduated from Kennesaw State. Literally 2 days ago, the boyfriend killed her because she didn't want him no more.
Wow.
She just graduated.
Well, first, listen, I think that might be the first time somebody asked me to go first.
Like I like to let the black man go first.
No, I mean, yeah, I think it's a lot of different things. I think the biggest thing is one, it goes back to a lot of these parents are raising themselves as well as raising kids. The other thing is, and I said this on my IG page one day, a lot of this is coming from a lot of these males not having males in their lives. The difference about when I was growing up and not having my father in the house, I still had male figures around me.
Yes.
In the neighborhood, or whether it was at church, or even if some were in Boy Scouts, or even if you played sports. A lot of times now, a lot of these women are raising these males, and stuff that they're doing when they're young or babies is cute, and as they grow, they do the same thing, and then it becomes irritable, or they shouldn't be doing this, and now you can't tell them nothing.
Right.
And then part of it, what I've learned the most is from all of my experiences with males is a lot of it is really just some of them do not know how to express themselves. Like they don't know. You get a male to come to school and he's there and he's just giving me hell. And most people be like, okay, well, Perk, why are you so calm? When I say, because the whole frustration of him with me is not at me, it's with him.
Yes, that's right.
He's he's only mad at me because one, he feel like at some point I'm gonna break and I'm not gonna be consistent. But
Mm-hmm.
what I've learned from college to now is that as long as I stay consistent and stay showing up every day, keep
Yeah,
hitting in the mouth with whatever it is, they're gonna break it eventually.
they will.
Problem with some of these males is a lot of their mothers are trying to shelter them. They don't want them to be around, their father because, as some females say, they're using their kids as hostages for financial gain.
Mhm.
And some of it may be other reasons. That's just what I get. A
Right.
lot of females that I meet with kids, even for me, and I say this in Florida, and Quita have heard me say this. Anytime that I'm talking to a female that has a daughter, and especially a daughter, and the reason I say a daughter is just because these days a lot of men are talking to little girls or messing with little girls. My thing as a man that who comes from a house, I have more female cousins than I have male cousins. But my thing is one to know if the father is in the child's life, but two to have this conversation like, bro, I don't do well with drama. I didn't come in here to be her father. I'm a stepfather, but I do not like that word at all. I do not like the stepfather.
Yeah,
But we need to have a conversation because we need to have some boundaries on what's going on because I want you to know what's going on with your daughter.
that's right.
Not with sons, but I still feel like we need to have a conversation with sons, but definitely when it comes to a
Yeah.
daughter.
Yeah.
But going back to the topic, I just think we we're as black people in general, we're just in a bad place. We need to have some kumbayas and we need to
Absolutely.
quit being so sensitive to what everybody else doing, trying to do what everybody else does. And we just need to come together in general,
Mhm.
not on no male, woman, king,
Right.
queen,
Just
but
yeah, just
as
unity.
a culture, we need
Period.
to come together.
Absolutely. And I think like therapeutically, immediately that brought up for me rejection sensitivity. And we are so rejection, especially men are so rejection sensitive. One, like you said, there are no males to teach them the balance. But now don't get me wrong, like, we try to come out of the whole toxic masculinity thing and, feel your feelings and all that stuff, but there's a balance there, right? And all that, and that balance has to be taught. Um, but and mothers do coddle their boys, but especially I just thank God didn't give me no boys because I wanted boys so bad, but I recognize looking back now I was too broken to raise a boy, right? I would have ruined him, and so I had a house full of girls, and so I think in an effort, just I just don't feel like, and forgive me, ladies, I don't preface that. I just don't think we're able to raise men by ourselves. You need a man to teach a man, right? Otherwise, he gonna be more in touch with his feminine energy. And while being in touch with the feminine energy is not a problem, it shouldn't override
Mm,
his masculine energy, right?
mm,
Just like me as a woman who operates a lot in masculine energy, right? Until I felt safe with
mm.
a man, then I was able to come into my femininity, right? And so I just think that there's no accountability. It's not enough accountability because if you don't teach your son to be accountable for himself and his feelings and learn simple things like bad stuff gonna happen, bro. And we're gonna have to be okay with it, right? That girl might have felt like the love of your life, and that's okay. However, you might find another, right? So, like, just teaching those things, like, this is not the be all end all. It's just that matter of rejection. And rejection feels heavy for everybody, but especially for somebody who's not stable in their emotions to begin with. You know what I mean?
So, because you brought up two things, and I'm about to say this right now, but you're killing my question. You're killing
Well,
my
you know what I
career.
do. You know.
I know, but you brought up two things. No, and I heard somebody said this. I think it was Ali Sadiq. He said on the breakfast. He said it's easy access now because back in the day, for me, I can say this: if I didn't get that girl number when I was at the movies, or if I was at the team parties, or even at the skate ring, I never would have seen her again.
Yeah,
Now,
you had
if
to
I don't
move.
get if I don't get her number now, I could just go on Facebook. I
Yeah,
go on
yeah.
Instagram. So now dudes feel like they got easy access to them. So now it's like where she tell me no today, I just go in her DMs later.
Right. Right.
And then what so let me ask you, do you think that is crippling the younger generations to actually have physical interaction with the opposite sex? And I'm talking about from the girl and the male side.
I think like social media like rules all kind of stuff, right? Like people's level of self-worth, people's, like you said, access to other people. And of course, also back in the day, you got to talk to the girls at your school, the girls in your neighborhood. If you happen to go to your cousin's house across town or something like that. But like now you got access to the whole world.
Don't forget church. Don't forget
church. And oh yeah, I forgot about church.
Don't forget church.
Absolutely.
Yes, Lord.
Absolutely.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Pastor anniversary.
Yes, Lord.
Pastor's anniversary. But go ahead. Let me shut up. Go ahead.
But like now there's access to the entire world, right? And so that make you feel some type of way. At the same time, as much access as it is, it still, to me, makes the rejection that much heavier. You know, like I got access, I could call this one, I could talk to that one, I could talk to that one, right? For me, it should be like, well, you know, they're a dime a dozen, you're not getting another one, right? And all that. But there's something underlying there about that rejection. And I read something the other day, as a matter of fact, as I was doing some just some research reading for myself about the difference between letting go and a loss, right? And I ran across this article that talked about how rejection feels so heavy because it's primal, right? Because in the basics of it, right? If I'm trying to choose a mate and that mate rejects me and I don't have opportunity to choose another, then I don't procreate, right? And so in order for the survival of my family, my species, whatever it is, at the primal level, then rejection hurts at the primal level, right? And I was like, well, that makes sense of how heavy it is and how hard it is to let go of something or somebody, all right? I just think that overall, there has to be a lot more involvement from like we said, as a people. As a people, we have to start getting together and get our villages back, right? If there ain't no daddy in that house, then there need to be an uncle or a nephew, or there need to be somebody that's in that man's life teaching him how to handle stuff. Just like there needs to be a woman there teaching that girl how to handle things, how to move forward in a rejection or when something bad happens. Like, because bad stuff gonna always happen. Like, that's life. Life gonna continue to life.
So what I'm gonna play devil advocate. What about the phrase, hey man, just keep chopping in that tree. Sooner or later it's gonna fall.
There's something to be said about persistence. There is. But you got to know when to stop. You know.
Hey, Chanel. Hey, y'all.
Hey, Quita.
Okay, so I'm going to say this. I'm going to say social media has made us antisocial. Kids don't even know how to interact with each other these days.
They don't.
Like, they don't know how to walk up to the kid down the street playing basketball saying, hey, can I play with y'all?
Mm-hmm. And that may make a big difference in the rejection thing, too, because we don't have no personal interaction.
Right.
If you don't, every time you turn around, you texting somebody. Matter of fact, my daughter did that the prom day and ticked me off because she's agitated. She don't know how she gonna get in. She don't know what the process is. She picks up I was like, well, talk to your best friends. They're already there. She picks up the phone, so text. I said, no, this is a phone call time. Get on the phone and actually talk to somebody, right?
Right.
That is their go-to, is like texting and, social media. And so there's no true interaction, no true interaction, and getting to know a person and feeling their vibe and, you know, and all that kind of stuff. Which would make me say the same thing about, you know, oh, when somebody tells you no, like, keep chopping the tree if you feel that vibe, right? But if you don't know what that vibe feel like because you don't interact with people in person, that's problematic, right?
Well, I'm gonna say this. I feel the whole no thing, but the one thing that we not talking about that they should be talking about is, homeboy, you finna go to jail and you gotta fight for your life.
Come on, bro.
Let me tell you something.
How serious is it? Is it worth that?
I'm old enough in my life when they start talking about jail, I get scared. I'm sorry.
Bro.
They got nothing but men in there. Got men taking boys' lives. Listen, they showed a video on IG where they had the men in there looking like little girls, and I said, "Bro, this is scary."
Bro,
yeah, I'd go to jail.
Ain't no poom poom that worth it to go to jail for.
Thank you.
They like the poom poom in there.
Right. That like, and I think that's part, and I think like you said,
they like boy
a man being present would be like, say, dog, I know you're heartbroken and all that, but ain't nothing worth going to jail over. Like the consequence of the thing makes a difference. You think I ain't been crazy pants enough in love with somebody that broke my heart that I ain't want to slash your tires? Of course I want to slash your tires and stab him in the throat. But I ain't about to go to jail.
I see it all over your face too. I see it all over your face too.
Only way I know I would go to jail is probably if something happened to somebody in my family or my circle.
I'm about to say your baby.
That's it. That's it. But to go over something,
it gotta be a certain member of my family because I'm not fighting for all them either.
Oh wow. She gonna start
toxicity going on.
Yeah, funny, bro.
A whole nother conversation now. No, I'm not going.
Season 7 cap. Now let me talk about this before we get to Diddy, because once again you brought it up and I was important to my question. You got that masculine energy in women, and some women just don't know when to turn it off. So
no, it's not about when to turn it off. It's in a safe space to turn it off.
Safe space. Come on.
It's a safe space. I operated in my masculine energy when there was no man there for protection, and I was protecting.
I
got with somebody who made me feel protected.
Chanel,
right into womanhood.
Chanel, hold on.
What you want, Perk? Sir?
This is not for you to be saying amen to, okay?
Why I can't amen?
Do not do that, Quita.
Why I can't amen?
You can't amen at that, Quita.
Why?
Well, go ahead, Chanel.
Why can't why can't amen? Because I haven't had the safe space to not be the man of the fucking house.
Do you really want to go there with me today? Because I feel like we can go.
I mean, it's two
therapists in the house.
I'm almost to the house so I can flip the light on and stop driving.
Hold on. First of all, you already know about how I get down with this, right? So
Let's do it.
Here go the thing, Chanel. You have to be in a mind space to be able to be in a safe space. You cannot say if a man show up and he needs to be a leader for him to lead you and you become in your femininity, correct? See, we get into this point.
I do get that. I do get that.
I feel a butt coming.
But
there you go.
But
come on with it.
It's operated from a place of survival.
No, I'm not taking away that.
When you're operating from a place of survival, sometimes you don't know when you're safe.
No.
You don't know. And it takes time for you to realize this is a safe space.
My exact point. I think you said it better so Quita could understand it.
Okay.
You have to be. Go ahead.
I haven't been in a safe space.
You haven't put yourself in the safe space. see the thing you keep forgetting is
See if you still
we saying that
wait.
we saying that like
Hold on, Queen. Go ahead, Perk.
we're saying we say this, and a lot of people say this. Like I've even had somebody say this to me, and I felt offended. Well, you were not trying to lead me, and I said you ain't trying to be led. You can't sit here and say, "Oh, I've been acting like this for protection," or like I watch these little things on YouTube when you get to scrolling, and they got these like pass or keep or whatever. And one of the girls said the same thing, and she was like, "Well, you know, you're confident and cocky," and I'm like, "You baby girl, you don't even know the difference." See, y'all keep trying to say words because you hear them, but it's like when a man come tell you something, and the comedian made a scenario that made perfect sense. If they get to shooting and I tell you duck and you say, "Why the fuck am I duck?" Now you
you gotta trust it enough to just do it.
Thank you. So you gotta know, you gotta be in the space to know when a good man come, but you also gotta be
recognize
in the space to know that every man ain't for you.
Free me, Florida. Free me. You got my video on lock.
Hold on.
Weirdo.
Give her free.
Well, she was in a dark place, and it's gonna look bad on the video.
I'm driving. Oh, it's still kind of. I ain't got. Now I don't have the TikTok light with me. The day I need it, I ain't even got it.
You got your TikTok.
Okay.
You should have. Hold on. Time out. You was in the group text message with Miss Chanel. You knew this day was coming.
She did.
Excuse me, sir. Are you paying the bills up here at 12:08?
Okay. We talked about 2 weeks.
Sir, I run a full-time business and I have a full-time job. If you're not paying the bills at 12:08,
keep your TikTok light on you at all times. Be camera ready. Okay, ma'am.
If you're not paying the bills at 12:08,
we've been doing this. We've been doing this every Thursday at 9:15.
Matter of fact, I just got on the TikTok shop. This is my first time even shopping. Anyway, Perk, back
every
to you,
Thursday,
Perk.
9:15. We've been doing it for.
What you were saying?
Go ahead, Quita.
Sir, I had to be put in a place so I can start to begin the process of being in a safe space. I had to wait till it was time for me to leave, for me to start the process of being in safe space. Now I'm on an MF and drought. Oh, Quita, you wouldn't do it at the beginning of the year? I'm gonna make you do it now. You know, dick to save my life right now.
That was good.
You deserve
it.
She said that's good. She said that's good. That's good.
Hold on.
I am on a 3-week drought.
And you should be droughting.
Wow.
Chanel.
Because you need to be focusing on yourself.
Chanel. Don't high five that.
Don't let her fool me.
Chanel.
You know why? You know why?
Somebody...
You know why? You know why she going through her 3 weeks?
Why?
Because first of all, she don't listen. That's one. Because what I just said before, you got to be in position to see.
Oh, and did I just not say, since Quita, you wouldn't do it?
Here go the main reason she's in a safe place right now.
Okay.
This is what somebody else came on here and said before. Be careful what you pray for.
Thank you.
True. Be careful what you pray for, because it'll show up how you don't want it to show up.
Yeah. Because if you want what's good, then you got to be prepared for what's good.
Yes.
That's why I understand why I'm on this 3-week drought. Because I had the opportunity to do it myself in the beginning of the year. And I did not do it.
Yes.
Okay.
But I didn't do it because of flesh, what flesh wanted.
Yes. But you prayed, and then he started moving.
Exactly. And he didn't move.
Right.
He moved after I don't need him to move.
At least you think you don't need it, but I'm telling you,
after I didn't want him to move. But so yes,
but
sir.
What you're doing, but you try not to move in the same way that you was moving before. That was getting you the same result.
I'm definitely trying to move in the same way. I'm just he's not allowing me to move in that same way.
That result she was getting, it wasn't even worth it.
It wasn't worth it.
No.
It wasn't even worth it.
Recognize it too. Don't say it out loud. Say it wasn't worth it.
She in the drought now. That's why it didn't work.
It wasn't even worth it.
Sometimes we gotta totally focus on us in order for us
I
to be
bet
great.
it's Coca-Cola.
Chanel,
No,
Chanel,
this
it
is
was Miss Chanel, it
this is
wasn't
fruit
worth it.
punch.
It wasn't worth it in time or feeling.
Oh, dang.
Mm.
No, you can't say feeling because the connection we had was different.
No. I ain't talking about I ain't talking
Even
about
good
decadence.
connections ain't even good connections.
You talking about physical connection?
Even
Yeah.
Physical.
Even you
good
said it.
connections ain't good.
I mean, she not even
You didn't
getting
enjoy
this.
yourself?
Chanel, she getting this.
She enjoyed herself, but guess what?
Did you
Ooh.
enjoy
All
yourself?
connections ain't good.
I enjoyed myself.
But
But maybe that was, some relationships.
Okay, so
She would have had a better time with a
the
rose.
thing.
It's a short
She
season.
would have had a better time with 2 AA batteries just sitting on the table.
This is the thing. It was an addiction. This was a high that I am tracing.
Okay, and see,
So I'm quitting cold turkey. I'm quitting cold turkey right now.
And you should find another way to get your oxytocin and your dopamine.
So
Other way.
this is what I'm gonna say. It took her to get this addiction to help her get out of a bad situation.
Okay.
So we get out of the bad situation. Now we want to move in. We're trying to advance ourselves, and some of those things don't go with us because
they can't go with me. This season, everybody is not able to go. Okay.
Yeah,
you gotta what God trying to do with you, everybody can't go with you, and the people holding on to you stop you from moving on.
Yeah. Every stage of elevation has what I call the purge.
It's here. It is most definitely here.
But every elevation stage has that. Where you just like, I just don't align with this person. You know what? That person don't even sound right to me. Like the energy just ain't straight. And that's friendships. That could be job stuff. But you start purging the things that don't align with your next higher self.
That's why we wanted you on last season for a certain attachment.
Let me ask you this, Janelle. When you are in a safe place and you don't know that it's a safe place, what does that mean then?
One, you could be in pure denial. Or you're not ready.
Okay.
Or you're just blinded by other things. I didn't realize, my guy I'm with now, right? I didn't realize I yielded.
Wait a minute. 3 seasons ago, you was with. Okay, we'll get to that later.
I don't remember.
I do.
So my guy is I didn't realize that I felt safe with him, right? I just knew I was comfortable, but I didn't know the why. And so the more we started talking about that specific thing, I was like, I don't know why I'm so damn comfortable with you. I don't know why, but he was protective. He was naturally protective. He was doing things that I had not had done before, right? In lots of different aspects and stuff like that. But when I went to I used to go to his house and sleep. And I was like, you probably sick of me coming over here and sleep. And he was like, no, you're tired. Like in the whole sense of being tired. Yes. Because you've always been doing, you've been the boss, you've been the alpha all the time. And when you're here, you feel safe and comfortable to sleep. So sleep, right? And all that. Not mad, not upset, not none of that stuff, right? He's the only man that's been able to check me on my shit without being offended, right? And all that. And he'll do it so kind and sweet with it, but I still be mad. But I sit back, right? He just told me, like I mentioned my youngest the other day, and she get on my nerves with this and that or whatever. And he's like, you're gonna be mad at me, but I'm gonna say it's your fault. And I was like, it's my fault. That's our daddy's fault because he's spoiled her. Da. He said, who she been living with? And I was like, oh okay. And stuff. And then I had to check myself, right? And so it's also, there's a way, and you'll know your person when there's a way that they can talk to you. That's, like Jill Scott said, if you can tell me what to do, you can tell me what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a level of authority that's not possessive, right? There's a level of strength that's not oppressive, right? And so you just have to be, but you have to be still and be ready for it. I think I was ready in that moment because I was tapped out. I was tapped out. I was tired. I was depressed. This was just before I met him, around the time that I was sinking into a deep, deep depression where I wanted to not live, and stuff like that. But he would do little stuff like come by my house and maybe go walk around the lake, and I affectionately say that was the moment he was trying to kill me, because that was 3 miles around that lake. But he knew I needed to walk. I needed to be outside. I needed to exercise. I needed to move, right? And stuff like that. He would bring me bags of groceries, right? Because he used to tease me all the time, like, you in love with me for that sex, huh? And I was like, no, that wasn't it. I mean, that's fire, but that's not it. It's because you tricked me into figuring out what my grocery list was, and you showed up at my house every week with groceries. That says you. He said, well, you had kids you had to take care of. Well, thank you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a man that's paying child support out the ass, right? But he's making sure that my kids eat, right? He can see my tiredness, right?
Yeah.
And he just held a space for me to be comfortable, right?
So I'm gonna say this, and I probably ain't never said nothing to toot my own horn, but when a good man finds somebody that will let him lead, that is that's something that's not talked about a lot in
It's
our
not.
culture.
It's not.
Because I can say, for transparent reasons, I can say I've been around someone. I can say that I met someone that I haven't even met in person, and made me feel like that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
To the point where I can say that the fact that I haven't met the person, but the way the person made me feel, I feel like if we met in person, it would be something tunnelly, like, and that's for a lack of a word. When I feeling like there's a connection that you don't just ordinarily meet with people.
Right.
You
Yeah.
come
Yeah.
into I don't like saying energy words, but
But
you have
it's energy.
energy with that person.
It's a deep spiritual energy. Is that what you feel?
Yes.
It is a
Yes.
deep spiritual energetic connection. And,
Yes.
and it's something that, y'all know the peace that passes all understanding that they talk about. It's
Yes.
like that you're like, I didn't even know. I thought I was in love before, but like, no,
Yes.
it's different. Like, right. This is so different. Like, we've been long distance for what, 5, 6, 7 years. And like, I'm locked in. I'm locked in. I'm just waiting on his kid to graduate next year. Like, which one?
Let me ask you a question, Michelle, because it was a lady. She's a therapist, and she had a couple, and the wife kept getting mad at her husband because she wanted him to lead, but he wasn't a good leader. So what she told him to do was just switch the roles. Like, she wanted him to drive, and she was like, that's not his strong point. But if you drive, he'll make sure the AC right, there's gas in the car, he'll make sure you got the right music, he'll make sure you got what all you need to drive. You ain't got to worry about pumping gas, you ain't got to worry about tires, the engine, none of that. Like, do you think that it's sometimes some men just not good leaders?
There are men that's not good leaders. I do believe that. I was with one, and but I especially as a therapist, I recognize why he wasn't. Right. I know his childhood, and I know what he was missing and what he didn't get and stuff like that affected his ability to be a good leader and all that. Had he chosen to get some therapeutic help or something to that effect, he could have dug into those things, healed those things, and became a good leader. I could see it in him. He had the ability there, right? And I believe that people have the ability. Are they willing to get rid of the junk that's in the way of their leadership ability? That depends, right?
What if they don't even want that role? They like, you know
Now, if
what?
they don't want the role, then
But
don't leave. But who are you trying to follow? Like, because
no.
I'm gonna say that's not your person. That's what I'm gonna say. That's just not your person.
Listen. They might not be a leader, but everything else that you want done, they gonna take care. You're not gonna sweat. You're not gonna run like, oh my God, who gonna cook? He's cooking. Oh my God, the garage. He's fixing everything around. Your job is just go do something.
Okay, and I was on another podcast and I was talking to Harvard Laguerre, but he has a podcast, Letter to Prize, and he mentioned how like they have him and his wife have reverse roles in their household, right? Again, this is definition, like we were talking about the profanity thing and all that, right? And the definition of respect, right? The definition of leader is not go to work and bring the money home, right? Is the definition of leader has to do with partnership and being able to be there in the way that your partner needs you to be there, right? So if I do the household budget better and I enjoy doing it and you hate that shit, like, well, I'm gonna take that on, right? And stuff. So that's a matter of preference within your relationship. Like, I don't mind. Yeah, I changed. I didn't fix the dishwasher. I be girl bossing around here. You know, I didn't change the faucet, like, you know, and all that stuff. Now, if my man was present, I would have liked to do that stuff together because I like doing stuff like that. Right. However, I don't want to touch the car. I don't want to change the oil. I don't want to put the gas in it. So, but that's a preference for me. I don't want to touch trash at all. I hate it. So I don't want to do that. So I want him to do it. But guess what? If we was in the same household and he wanted me to share in that task, I still would do it. All right. So for me, it's not a matter of roles. It's about what you need individually within that partnership. Right. You know, Harvard said he stays home with his girls and his wife goes to work. So he's an at-home dad. That don't mean he's not providing. He's providing the house for the girls and the space for the girls so his wife can do what they agreed upon that how the household was going to run. And he does his podcast and he's, you know, working on his mission, right? And so it just depends on individually. I think we also get stuck in the societal standard and norm of what a man does and a woman does or whatever, and all that. That's an individual thing, right? Like there's some women that might like working on cars. They're like, nah, baby, I got it, right? Because this is my jam. And all that. We're not going to disrespect her and be like, oh, she not leading. She not letting him lead because she like working on a car. That's her jam. She like cars, right? And stuff. So like, you got to be careful with the definition and the expectation that we put on the thing. Is it a societal expectation or is it a preference of yours? Like, what do you want within your relationship?
What works for you?
Yeah.
No, well, I think is what works for the two people in the relationship.
Right.
I think that's what it comes to. Like
it's got to be a mutual understanding.
Yes, because a lot of times we see these people, you know, in these relationships, and you can tell that they got into these relationships for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whether it's your baby or timing, or you know, people pressuring you to get married, all that. So I just think it's the two people that's in a relationship need to come up with what works for them.
Exactly.
Well, that's my point, because that's what I was getting to, because you get women to get in a relationship and they're like, all right, you the man, take over. It's like, no, why don't y'all talk and figure out?
Right.
Because you want him to do all this. Excuse me. Baby, he ain't good at finances. Maybe you
exactly. Like, I don't want you managing the finances if you're not good at it.
That's the point I'm getting to, because I think that they're not communicating, because sometimes she might be, like, Quita's a hustler.
Right.
Quita might be the one who need to go get the money. He might be the one better at taking care of this type of shit.
Whatever it is. Yeah.
Or if the roles reversed.
Looking for, I can see it in our face.
But my preference, if I can out hustle you, I don't want you.
Exactly. And see, that's me. Like
I
I'm
don't
a
want.
big, strong personality, and I know it, right?
Why
Especially once I
is it
started
that, Quita?
operating in it, because I used to shun myself and keep myself as low as possible, right? Again, childhood trauma. So
I'm
once I
gonna
learned to stand
say if
fully in that light,
my get up,
Hold on, Quita, let her finish. Then
if I can stand fully in that light, right? If I can run over you, I will. I will steamroll you. So if you let me, you're not the man for me. I need you to set me straight. I need you to put me in my place. If I start raising my voice, I need you to be like, woman, who you talking to? And I need you to say it in such a way that make me quibble. Okay?
yeah, make you be like, oh, I was just
You
playing.
say woman, I want to be like, ooh.
Because
Now
I'm
I've
gonna try
heard
you. I'm gonna
that
try
is
you.
I've heard that is a true statement from one of my older women. She said that all women will try their man to see.
I'm gonna try you.
Yeah, I'm gonna try you.
I said, why do we have to go through that? She
Because
said,
if you can stand up to me, you'll stand up for me.
Come on, somebody.
Quita, floor is yours, Quita.
If you're gonna check me, you ain't gonna let nobody in the street act no fool.
Mm-hmm.
So there's
Okay. So this is the thing for me. If you don't have no get up and go, and I gotta motivate you to get up and go,
no,
I
no,
don't
no,
want
no,
you.
no, 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 no.
No,
You
I don't
no,
want.
no,
If I can
hold on,
out hustle you,
hold on, no, because everybody ain't a hustler. You can't say you
but
can't say that because
but
he
if
can be
your
the
hustle
person that
don't
still
match
get
my
up and go to
hustle,
work. No, because he got the thing. He can still get up and go to work. You just might be a better hustler than him. That's just like he might be a better
what
finance.
do you need? What is your definition of provision? Like,
Yes.
so
what do you need for provision?
okay, so like with what I left, with what I left,
Mhm.
I'm getting up, I'm moving this stuff, putting this stuff in the truck. You know I'm gonna go set up this event. No, I don't expect you to set up the event with me, but I do expect you to be the man to help me get this stuff in and out the vehicle.
Did you ask
Even
him?
in and out the venue?
Did you ask?
But
Quita.
I have asked. I have asked.
Okay, and
Do
then
I have to?
fine.
Do I have to ask you every time? The
Did
money
you,
that's coming
but
into the
when you
house.
asked him, did you say to him? Did you sit with him and say, "Hey, baby, I noticed when I'm putting this stuff in the vehicle, you usually don't pick up and help me. I would really appreciate it if you started doing that."
Oh, baby, I'm not gonna do that.
Why not?
That's why we keep the
That's
boss clean.
communication.
I'm not
You're
gonna
not
do
about to do
that.
that. You shouldn't
I
do
know.
that.
Like I mean, I'm
Now,
like I will
hold on.
say
I will defend you on that one. That part, you probably ain't got to
No,
ask.
but that will let you know what man you got.
Yeah, but no,
but
but
I
I'm
mean
saying,
I have to.
but she
Hey,
kind of
can you
passed
grab?
that part, though, Janelle.
Okay.
Can you grab
Yeah.
that bin? Can you grab that bin and help me get it into the truck?
Mm.
Like
I would
I
kind of
went
go
to.
with the defend on that one.
Yeah,
She
you
like
should. Yeah, you should have been
after a
close on
couple
that
times. Yeah,
one.
no, well, here go the thing. I get what she's saying,
Mhm.
but what I'm trying to get her to understand is like you're not saying I'll hustle you. You're saying being a gentleman and seeing when
Or
you
being a man in general.
Yeah, man in
being
general.
that's what I'm
being a
getting.
man
And a
in
man.
I'm
general.
not getting my thing is there's not a lot of people, period. And I'm gonna say this for Perk. There's not a lot of people, period, that can out hustle me and outwork me.
Mhm.
Now, when it comes for me, as far as what what I will not go with, I would rather a woman cheat on me
Mhm.
than if she didn't clean up.
Hmm.
Like
Okay.
if I can outcook
That's
you
when
and
your part right.
and
You
I
got to know what
clean,
your deal breakers are for real.
if I can outcook you and I clean you, then I don't need you. I get that. Like,
Dang.
baby, you need to do something, one of them.
Right.
Like,
But that's what I'm saying. You're
Right.
gonna have to do
So
something. You
right.
gotta have
but
some
you're
kind of hustle
saying
about
hustling, though,
yourself.
dude.
You gotta have some
You're hustling. You saying hustling.
that can be you work that can be you working at the paper mill cutting hair. I
That's
need you
not
to do
hustling, though. That's
something.
not hustling, Quita.
So do you mean
I'm
bringing in
I
income?
your hustle you hustling and my hustle the hustling meaning might be something different. Me going to energy is me hustling because I got grown bills. Me
Mhm.
my own business, that's me hustling. Me
Mhm.
slanging these apples, that's me hustling.
But you do that for fun too, though, Quita, right?
What?
All of it.
What part?
You
All
enjoy
of it.
you enjoy
My
all the
business.
things that you do to make your money.
Yes.
I enjoy decorating. Yes, I don't enjoy getting up going to energy every day. talking to these people on the phone. I don't enjoy making candy apples. I do that because these people ask for it and it make me money.
Okay, so
Okay.
what, hold on.
Yes,
Hold on.
the demand
Everybody,
is what make me
hold
do
on.
it.
Hold on. We got to put a pin in it. So we're going to stop here. We got a part 2 coming. Nobody get off the Zoom. We got to, because of the time limit, it's going to be hard to do it. So we finna go to part 2 real quick.
G14 classified. That's good.
Headline, Starlight.
DJ Star.